Oh, it is helpful.
I was trying to lean into it. So,
When you think about all the things that are going on, it's real enjoyable to talk to people. So I just had a client call, and I really enjoyed talking with her, and she said something to me that was really interesting about Zoom. I find I listen to people talk about Zoom, and they're like, I do not like Zoom. I'm so sick and tired of Zoom. And what was really interesting about what she had to say about it was like, I really love Zoom. I love Zoom because it connects me to people in a way that I can't get connected anywhere else. And she just had some comments about it that I thought were really interesting to me, because when I get on Zoom, I'm like, I'm going to disappear behind this anonymity type thing. I just don't want to show up. I don't want you to see me. I want to sit at my desk and I want to listen to what you have to say, or I want to listen to what the topic is about, or whatever the class material is if I'm taking some continuing education. But I really just don't want to see everybody. And so what I'm thinking about, there might be some appropriate ways to connect on Zoom that aren't necessarily appropriate when you're doing business. Like when you're in a work situation, you and I have talked about it, right? That you feel like a work situation is not necessarily the best way to start building a community, right? And so one of the things that I'm just trying to think about is that when I talk to people and I feel a little bit more anonymous, like they can't really see me, like it's on the phone or something, then it's like I can say it a little bit more. I'm a little bit freer to talk about my emotions, to talk about what some of my experiences, and I don't have to worry about, am I going to see that person tomorrow? Am I going to see that person at work? Or am I going to see that person down the street? Or see that person in the grocery store? I feel it's a little bit freer when I know I'm not. So I really like that about the Zoom when you're anonymous, and I really like that about the phone call. Am I missing the boat sometimes? Am I missing the boat when it's obvious that to everyone else but me that it's a chance to build a community, and I'm just kind of zoning out? I hate to think of that. I'd hate to think of that. This is a chance that I could really get to know some people a little bit better, and they could really get to know me a little bit better, and it could enhance our relationship, could enhance the way that we do things together, and I'm just kind of zoned out. I'll give you a good example of that. I love when my grandkids call, and they call me on, it's not necessarily Zoom, but it's Instant Messenger, or what's that iPhone thing? Facebook, FaceTime, yeah, whatever it is. Anyway, they call me on that, and I always love to see them, but dang it, they're always calling at a time where I just want to see something else or do something else. Not always. Gosh, they're going to see this, aren't they? Uh-oh. But anyway, sometimes it's just inconvenient. You just don't buy into the moment, right? You just don't buy in. And as a result of that, I think I miss out sometimes when I don't buy in. And I just thought that was interesting to bring up, that with this COVID going on, and the fact that a lot of times you're not working together, or you're not going to the grocery store like you used to, or you're not going to restaurants, like you're not running into people like you used to run into people, then gosh, where do you get this interaction? And if it's all just about business, and it's all about just being anonymous and getting your stuff done, then geez, who wants to do that all the time? Who wants to be on Zoom all the time doing that? Nobody. But if there is a chance to connect in a way that you're actually deepening your relationship or building a community, I just don't want to miss that. So I'm going to start looking for those connections. And I thought I'd bring this up as something for us to talk about, because I want to pass that encouragement along, that certainly there are times where being anonymous and just getting it done is really important because of what's structured in your day. But I can't afford, and I don't think anyone else can afford, to carry that structure of busyness into all parts of our lives. Like you said before, you don't want to work in your bedroom. You don't want to work in this room over here or that room over there, because it kind of just ruins the reason for going into that room. Every time you go in that room, you think about work, and now you can't relax. So some things, there have to be clear boundaries about how you use certain rooms, or how you use Zoom, how you use the media. But what I thought would be really important for me to think about is just make sure you're not doing that business thing, that business mode, carrying that over all the time into all these other opportunities that your grandkids call, or your wife calls, or your husband calls, or whomever. Maybe we should just kind of intentionally shut down the business aspect of what we do and who we are, and relax and allow that personal side of who we are and what we want to be and who we want to be with start to flower a little bit more. It's just a way to think about it. If you really like what you're hearing, then go to our website, allaboutfurs.com, or go to our social media on Facebook or on Instagram and see what else we've got out there that might be helpful to you. We hope it's going to be helpful to you in some way. And when you deem it appropriate, when you think that it's going to be most helpful to you, go back to our website and use more of our stuff, or give us an opportunity to talk to you one-on-one. We're glad to hear from you.